Monday morning, or not Monday morning, Wednesday morning live. The good news is here is we made a perfect flip from XDC at that top of that little run there. Not saying it's the end of it, but the very clean flip over for me at least. I flipped over, as you guys know, last night. Put it into XLM. I have XLM, XRP, VeChain, and Algo. I'm very happy with that decision. I figured that XDC had to have that correction as it was leading the way. It was still a little bit behind, but now we look at XDC for opportunity. It's back testing the breakout, and this is where we can make an educated and informed decision if we want to go back down that road or if you want to look elsewhere. But this is why Mr. Stott last night even exited the position, I remember, and he was worried about it, and I was very honest about it and said I expect this to drop back down here, and it's been a better than 7% drop back to the back test. It had as much as a 10% pullback, which that's exactly what we need to do to try to continue this movement. In my opinion, it was a slight bit behind. Now we need to see how we react this morning. It's between 9:30 10 a.m. XRP's up 4 1/3%, which I'm very excited about, because it pushed out, Bitcoin pushed out to that projected first target out of that descending consolidation that we had, right to the top, as we talked about yesterday, 72K over the 4-hour time frame. But because of how this worked, we're having a bullish divergence here with the price action versus stochastic. And what I mean by that is this is extremely promising in the immediate short term. And yeah, it can go against us. But you see how the price went from here when we had expansion out? Well, with the price appreciation, we've gone from 66,169 to just about 72K. And yet, we have a bullish divergence in the stochastic. The stochastic has gone from 36 all the way down. Wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here? This is upside down. It is not a bullish divergence here. Never mind. Stochastic is upside down. Why is that? I was going to say that looks extremely weird looking at it that way. That's inverted. Forget what I just said. I don't know why it's inverted. We do not want an inverted scale. I was going to say it's promising because we haven't gone extremely overbought. And then when I seen it, I'm like, oh, that's even different than I thought. Forget what I just said and strike that from the record. But no, the stochastic is looking very formidable right now. With where we're at, oh, it did an update. That's what happened with TradingView. God, I hope they didn't ruin it even further than it was. But the stochastic, from a standpoint of, we're barely into overbought in the 4-hourly. I know the daily time frame is extremely overbought. And in the weekly time frame, it is in a very good spot, actually. So we're going to find out here. Weekly time frame's looking nice and bullish. It has a nice weekly reversal. Obviously, we're looking to finish off some movement here. Has it expanded out too far? Only volume will let us know the next part of this price action. But as of right now, this is exactly what we want to see. We're going to try to hold that 200-day, and then in time, we should come up to this 82,000. There's a huge gap up there, but we have to hold that 4-hour time frame first. So that's going to be the agenda here this morning. Bitcoin's up 5%. A lot of our cryptocurrencies are up. XDC's actually behind the market, ladies and gentlemen. I know it seems like it's ahead, but the rest of the market, in theory, a lot of it had already come up earlier, expansion, hit the 200-day, came back down, consolidated, and created these inverse patterns. And there is a reason to be excited this morning. It's just you don't always want to chase in the moment, but right now it's breaking out of that consolidation. And we could make some noise here this morning. I came on as soon as I could. My son had his GI appointment and went phenomenal this morning. He put on 3 pounds, which is excellent for his condition that he's in. His GI tube looked great. They were very pleased. He handled it like a champ. Probably the best appointment he's had. He got a little bit fidgety when they were pulling on it, but other than that, he did a great job. He's in school right now, so I was very proud of him this morning to see the way he handled himself. So I was just super happy with how he conducted himself this morning. So for everybody asking the questions and that about T's appointment, he did very well. He's in school. He was happy to be at school. And now we're going to continue on with this. So with that being said, good morning. 10:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Totally Awesome says, good morning, Tom. We need to talk. Are you free this weekend or later tonight? At some point I'll be free. It's always hard to tell exactly when with my son because I don't know how he's going to react. Like last night, we were up until 4 a.m. But I assume there's going to be moments that I will be available. If you want to send me an email, I could probably elaborate on that a little bit more for you if you want. But as far as the markets right now, I'm not seeing anything that is irritating me at all. I'm pretty comfortable with how things are moving. Everything is kind of moving in a universal way. Here, I'll put my email, Totally Awesome, and thank you for at least explaining to me that you needed to have a conversation. Under Juju Fish, I just shared it. It's drutrugali@gmail.com, and that goes for everybody if you need a moment of solitude or if you just want to talk beyond. I will do my best to answer all questions. Now, is this a full-blown pattern reversal with cryptocurrency? Absolutely not. But we did have this imbalance. Can we get up to $1.70? In no way are we saying that this is going to continue out. But for progressionary purposes, this is taking that first step. But as we know, it gets a little tricky around that 10:30 a.m. part every single morning. So that's what we're dealing with this morning. For anybody who's in the class, I am very dedicated. We will still have it at noon. Very busy morning, but we will still be doing it at noon as normal. It'll be class number 10. And I am super excited about this class because we're getting into the very difficult spots now of the wealth preservation versus generation. And this is going to be the most in-depth walkthrough that we'll have of this section. It may be the last walkthrough of this part, and then phase 3 will likely start either on Monday or Wednesday of next week. So please pay very close attention to what's going on there within the classroom. Now, I want to start out with not XRP, ironically, but XDC, because if we're going to have a continuation, XDC is technically in a buy spot. Does that mean you go full blast? Does that mean it's a guarantee? Absolutely not. But the reason why I sold it was to try to look at it when it retested this area. It's down 7%, so it gives us a much better opportunity after getting a nice price surge. If anybody was in it, we were up about 14 to 15% from the buy-in on the bottom when we bought it for the wave C. And C hasn't completed yet. It just needed a correction. So it's very promising how we're starting this morning. So yesterday, how we were talking about this is an opportunity. You're going to have some balls. I tried to explain my vision and why I did what I did. And now we'll see if that move paid off. So while XDC was consolidating, I had a rather large XDC, as you guys know. And that's why I had to expand out of it to go inward into like XLM and Algo and some others. But now it's almost like, is it time to flip now? Is it time to flip? So we're not done yet. We shouldn't be done yet. We're not even close. Not even close. We have these inverse patterns that have not even broke out yet. For my fans of IOTA, I've been watching it very closely. IOTA is ready for an expansionary wave as well. Don't read too much into it, but I found a way to have exposure, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's a limited time exposure. Let's just put it that way. Algo is doing exactly what we want it to do out of this inverse pattern. I have 100,000 tokens to be transparent, but I don't want to talk transparency because that's my business, nobody else's. And I'm expecting this push up to at least the 200-day, but ultimately the technical target's up to about 10 cents. Now, does it play out? So far, so good. 4-hourly set up exactly like I wanted it to, breaking out of this descending consolidation. And we've had a lot of stuff that is setting up in our favor. Ethereum's up 5.5%. We're looking at that next target of right around 2,172. But we needed to break out of this wave right here, this little area 2,071, which we're looking good. And the next resistance up for a third tap of the higher bearish pennant. Or to try to break out of it because we're over the second layer bearish pennant. If we get over that 2171, we can invalidate the downward tug. We can invalidate a downward tug. Totally awesome. If you want to send the message through the email, I will read it to everybody, so you don't have to break it up. And if you want to buy stuff with crypto, here's the best option I can give you. Go to scottsdalemint.com. You can use your crypto to buy precious metals. Use Bitcoin and a couple others, and you just have to match it up in the real time as you make the purchase. I've done it many times. If you go to the silver stacking videos that I have in my database, it'll show you exactly how to do that. And there's a few things you can buy with it, but it's not exactly the easiest thing, as you all know. So that's definitely something we can do. Am I in a good mood because of the crypto? No, but I'm in a good mood because of how my son acted. My son was a champ this morning at his GI. So that makes me extremely proud of him, the way he responded. And then went to school right after, like literally. Or you can send it to Telegram, absolutely. Oh yeah, totally awesome. I forgot you were in there. You can send me a message on Telegram anytime. But yeah, obviously I'm excited about crypto because it's been a couple $1,000 day already. So, you know, what am I going to say? I'm not happy about making money. I'm definitely in a dire situation with my son, with his medical costs going up and things like that. So any bit helps. I was proud of myself for the way I read the XDC chart. Let's just put it that way. Even though it was very volatile, I went with my plan. And I said I'll revisit it when it made the back test. And now it's back testing. So I'm revisiting it. Haven't done anything but revisiting. So I'm happy with the way this audience approached this yesterday too. We had a 2-hour and 30-minute live yesterday morning. Better than 150 people were a part of it. There were still 130 by the end. And then in the live last night, we've had a lot of dedication as well with over 120 people. And then we had about 4 hours of lives yesterday, believe it or not. So we're very strong here. We look for opportunity. We kept saying yesterday, opportunity comes to those who aren't afraid, but you're going to need some balls. Opportunity comes a knocking when you least expect it. So expect the unexpected. I talked about it yesterday. If we're going to make a move, we're going to do it now. And I even went through that with the title, with my approach with the picture I used in my title for yesterday's. It was now or never. Unfortunately, it did exactly what we're looking for, that initial breakout. We found buyers, as I said this morning. I even put a nice little graph together for you in the picture this morning, talking about what's happening across the seas and how we can do some connectivity with XRP. So, you know, there's always times to be negative and always times to be positive. Right now is a good positive moment. Bitcoin technically has a ton of liquidity up towards 80 and 82K. So getting above this 72 and out of this zone is extremely important here. And we're right up to the resistance area in the 200 day. So if we can get over this, now you have that upper liquidity box that is not as big as it needs to be right now. I don't know what happened here. It used to be bigger. I'm going to say with the update, it probably screwed me over here. But this liquidity box is supposed to... What did it do here? Hold on. I hate when they update it. It was supposed to fill out this entire wick down here, as you guys know. Right about there. So that's the upper liquidity box. And it's going to put you within these, the CME for the Bitcoin futures up towards the top. But that entire area gets you into the realm of play. So I want to at least go from there. Yeah, Elmer, I have no idea what happened there. I seen your comment last night, but I don't know why he did it. I didn't see it. I'll take your word for it because I trust you. It could have been an accident. I don't know. Or he could, I don't know. You know, everybody deals with things every given day, but you're here today. I made sure that there was nothing blocking you from coming in today. There was nothing on my end that was permanent. So I'm not sure why that is, Elmer, but as you know, you're a very valuable part to me in this community, and I'll make sure that, you know, I'll do my best to not let that happen again. And I give you my word on that. Silver days, and my word hopefully means something to all of you because I'm very upfront with everybody, and I don't think anybody will give you their word like I do. I'm a person of integrity. So when I give you my word, you take that shit to the bank. Half Swizzy, good morning. William Hayes, welcome in, and thanks for being in Towns 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Dan Marginal, thank you also for 6+ months. Mark Caston, over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad with Crypto Cooter. And Crypto Cooter, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here. Means the world to me. Logical Patriot, totally awesome. Thanks for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Yeah, I know, totally awesome. And you're gonna dig into something that I'm trying to be very vague about. And I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna talk about it until I see what you're gonna say. But I'm pretty sure if you're tying it into Ripple, I know exactly where you're going. And it's something that pissed me off when I read it too. So, and if you start connecting the dots, it's not good for retail. Anthony Venegas, good morning. Sola Jeffy, welcoming my brothers and sisters in here. James McCurney, good morning with breaks. And Bold FC, excellent. JBHK, a very trusted mod in here as well. Good morning, buddy, over in the Netherlands. Actually, afternoon. 2 Ravens over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon Badge. Plant Good Seas, thanks for 3+ months with the XP Meteor, along with Bearded Viking, as we continue to pray for the good fight. Despite some negativity I received in the comments about my prayers yesterday, which I was not too thrilled to see, but too damn bad. We're going to continue on with the prayers because I believe in it. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. As I bless this community, we pray to our higher power, Yahweh, Yahshua, Emmanuel, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for that guiding stone for not only Bearded Viking and Mighty Marcus and his wife, but everybody who struggles with the good fight in our audience. XRP John Hall, whose son was deployed into this brutal war. So we pray for his safety. We've also got, let's see if I remember this morning. I got so much stuff on my mind. Damn it. Why can't I remember the other person whose mother-in-law is going through the good fight right now, and we really need to watch over her as well with the guiding stone. Wait a minute, where was my cat? Hold on, my cat's meowing from somewhere. Hey, come here, Ghost. Ghost, come on. Wanna go outside, kitty? Ghost. Come on. Let's go. I see you wanna go outside. I'll let you out, buddy. William, good morning, and thanks for being in town. 6+ months with the XP Predictor, along with Mr. and Mrs. Stott. Yeah, Elmer, let's leave that in the past and let's try to move forward. All we can do is deal with today. And don't worry, you're not going nowhere. After all, you know, I make the final decisions. You're not going nowhere. You're a very valuable part to what I do here. But I'm glad that you're able to see it that way. I definitely think the community should listen to it, but I don't think it's too deep where it gets you in trouble. I'll be the judge of that because I know the standards here. But I'm pretty sure you wouldn't put me in that spot. I know you wouldn't try to put me in that spot intentionally. Please provide link to the Telegram. Thanks. I will. But if you gain value, everybody, remember, I'm doing a lot of freaking work here. So if you want to support me, please join Tom's Army. It's the single best gift you can give me and my family to believe in what I do and pay it forward. I dedicate a lot of my time here, a lot. More than most. I'll keep this open for 1 minute because I like who asked. I like James a lot. So I would like to see James in there. So you got 1 minute and then I'm going to close this down, everybody. So please click on that. Take advantage of it while it's there. The only rule is there's no second chance, so don't be a dick. Treat everybody with the integrity and respect you demand for yourself. And be positive, not negative. I do not tolerate negativity. I will delete you and drop you like a fly. Because I believe in what I do, and we have to have that focus and narrow mindset to where we believe in each other. Simple as that. You have to agree to the prompt. Otherwise, you can't comment, and it tells you all the stuff to worry about, all the things that you want to, all the things you want to make sure that you don't fall traps and victims with. So, oh, wow, James McKinney, I didn't mean you had to join right away. Holy smokes. Thank you so much for rejoining Tom's Only 3+ months of the XP Meter. I was simply saying if you got something out of it and you wanted to show us, wow. Holy smokes. Thank you so much for that, but I'm going to delete this in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the new people in there. I've been doing this more and more as a strategic way to get more and more people in there. And it's been met with a good response. So thank you all for the kindness and generosity. I really appreciate it. And welcome back into Tom's Army, Mr. Jamie McKinney. I don't know why I said James, but Jamie McKinney, welcome back. Yes, I will continue to keep praying. That's what I know. That's what I know. Silver Days, thanks for the $5.89 super chat. What a super generous audience this morning. Thank you, Tom, for being here every day. We all appreciate you so much. Keep up the amazing work. Oh, I appreciate that so much. 1970 legend, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge and the very trusted mod. Just a question. With Elmer last night, putting him in like a little timeout. Nobody's judging. We're just want to make sure we keep this open. You do a great job here, and I really appreciate you being here. But let's mend the fence with Elmer J. Fudd, and let's stay on the same page because we're trying to be together here. And if you see fit, obviously, you do your job. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and we're all in the positive mindset and we're all friends here. So let's mend that fence. And I appreciate my fellow Buckeye here. Does a great job. A lot of my mods do a great job. Sometimes, things are emotional, so we can't judge for what we do. We can only try to be more positive and move on together. So let's try to do this in the most possible way. Yep, that's fine. See, we all interpret things in a way, and now we move on. We're all wise. Exactly. No big deal. Let's mend the fence, everybody. Let's mend the fence. So I can see what you're saying. You're trying to keep it from spiraling. Respected. I respect both of you the same way. So let's just move on from here and let's be friendly. Yep, no big deal. I agree. No grudges held. No grudges held in this community. Pamp the likes up, everybody. We're at 79 likes out of 120 people. James McKerney says test. Yes, we are having a test. Tree Doctor, welcome in and thanks for joining Tom's Army again for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Welcome back. I'm so proud to have you back here. In 1970 legend, thanks for saying it's no big deal and we've mended the fence and moving on. I love it. I love it. Rubrian, welcome in. Positivity and indeed. Positivity is the way to go. I appreciate the 83 likes. We got Mosey here and here as well. Over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon Badge. I have the most supportive community that I could ever have imagined and thanked. I mean, I can't even thank you all enough for this support. Everything is moving up exactly like we want. Gold and silver's having that. We got to retest that breakdown. As you know, we had a significant drop yesterday, so now we're testing. Oil, we thought would have to have a back test of this breakout of this pattern formation. No matter how volatile it goes, we usually back test it. Came close, which is a good test of the 20-day. Now we need to see if we're putting in some kind of topping reversal, which it's going to be interesting. 4 hours dumping out nicely, but we'll continue to watch that as we go. My number one mission here is, even in times of uncertainty, that we can try to make some kind of profit. Remember, right now, it's very important we push through this liquidity sweep at the bearish confirmation. This is the bearish confirmation if zone rejects. It hasn't officially rejected. We got the consolidation, went back to the uptrend, which was super important here because we started this, expanded out, put the inversion in, and now we try to break up. And I apologize if I'm a little loud. I'm very happy and proud this morning, not just the community, but my son made me so proud this morning because he had the GI doctor 2 weeks ago. We were in Grand Rapids on Monday, and now less than 2.5 weeks later, he had to go get rechecked out because it was just that time down here. We really like our doctor here. He's the only person at Beaumont when my son was hospitalized for 2 weeks that did his job right and looked out for him and actually knew what he was doing. And I'm very appreciative of that. My son walked in, and he didn't even wait for them. He went over to walk to get his weight done, even though we had to tell him to wait. He knew the exact room we were going in from last time, which was incredible, because there's like 20 different rooms. And he handled it like a champ. He was up 3 pounds, which is big for him. He's over 50 pounds now. When he started this journey, he was only at 18 pounds. So it's been an incredible come up. He was in the bottom 2% of weight for his age and his height. Now he's over the 55% threshold, which puts him in the top third, basically top half. And he was very excited to get to school too. So I don't know where he gets this positivity. Well, hopefully I'm a good example for him. And so is Julie, because we just keep moving on no matter what. But he did a great, you guys would all be so proud of him. So I'm going to buy him some cars this morning. I seen some donations. Actually, got about $30 worth of donations between the members of Tom's. I'm going to buy him a big pack of cards right now while we're on live. And dedication from this audience. So thank you guys. It's about $25 for this 20 pack of cards. And I'm going to give it to him and say, the audience, son, they believed in you this morning. They donated towards your cause. And we're going to get you something special today. Because that's not easy. Only being 6 years old, being nonverbal, you know, being autistic and things like that. And he's very set to a routine. So when you break routine, if you have anybody who's autistic, who's special needs, if you break their routine, it hits him harder than a normal kid. But I'll be honest, he took it like a freaking champ this morning. It's the best visit he's ever had at the GI, in my opinion. He only got a little emotional when they tugged on his G-tube just to make sure it was in. So I'm very, very proud of him. So if you see a even more positive value that I'm bringing this morning, I'm always positive, but this morning he's really given me the reason to be positive. He really has. That boy is something else in a good way. And some people are like, you know, I've been asked the question, do you regret having your son because he's special needs? Are you freaking kidding me? No. In fact, I think God made him the way he is so that he can avoid a lot of the stuff that goes on in the world. God only gives you what you can handle. And it's ironic because Julie dealt with kids just like him for almost 10, 15 years in the job that she had before her accident. So everything happens for a reason. The Lord was preparing us. I have a special needs cousin who's autistic as well, nonverbal, so I was trained very good. I used to take him under my wing, and I would take him, you know, solo when most people were afraid, because he's my cousin. And some people are judgmental, and it's like, that's your family, man. You be thankful for the way that your kids are, no matter what it is. Whether they're dealing with some big stuff or not, you be very thankful that you have them in your life, because, you know, it's a blessing to have a kid like T. And I just regret that more people can't have somebody like that, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I'm gonna order these cars. They're in the order book. I'm excited about this. I know T's gonna be very happy from all of this. So I thank all of you for that donation this morning. And T's gonna benefit from this because he deserves it. So I'm placing the order. And I'm getting him a 20 pack. He's not just getting a small pack. My boy's getting a big pack from all of you. Plus, I can't even believe people would ask if I regret having somebody with special needs. Like, that's kind of like, where's everybody's head at to ask that question? I can understand some people can't deal with it, I suppose. Don't judge not what they don't know, but judge, you know. Try to let them see the good kind of thing. So there, I placed the order. So, holy smokes. Really? Crazy donations. Can I ask you guys a question in this community? Do you feel like 2026 we've changed into a better community? Even though I think we had a great community, do you think we've turned into something deeper? I've often wondered, is it my demeanor that's changed? Is it the level of dedication's increased? Are you guys happy with the classes? Like, what is it about this year that's changed? Because something's changed. I'm not talking about donations or members. I'm talking about the vibe. I'm talking about the level of commitment to the audience, the amount of people that are dedicated to helping each other. Something's changed. Hopefully I've planted the roots now here to where everybody understands that I'm not lying to you over 5 years. And that I have enough history here that I don't care what everybody else says. I'm going to tell you the truth, and we're going to try to approach this market in the best way. Talk about the great opportunity that presented itself. Like, I'm just wondering what actually has changed. I know my demeanor's changed a lot this year. The I don't give a crap is there, but it's also I care even deeper somehow, if that's even possible. 1970 Legend, thanks for the $49.99 donation. Buy him 2 more sets. I'm going to go on Amazon. They have a 50 pack. And it's like right around $50, actually, I believe. 45. I'm going to do that. I'm going to let them enjoy this one, and then tomorrow I'm going to order that one. It should be here in a week. So I'll let you know, 1970 Legend. Thank you so much for that. And also in Tom's Armory for over 1 year. That's incredibly generous. Same with Mark Casson. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And also, wow. And Tom's Armory for over 1 year. Brett, welcome. And look at what is going on here. I'm almost stunned. I just seem like... Oh my goodness. Let me just go through this before I get emotional. Robert, welcome in. Mick Shoot, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Armory for over 1 year. Sola Jeffy, good morning. William Hayes, thanks for the $10 super chat. And in Tom's Armory 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Good morning, Carl, and thanks for being in Town's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And also a very valuable member of this army. I appreciate you being in the class and being very helpful within the class as well with questions and so on and so forth. Logical Patriot, thanks for the $4.99 super. I can't even believe all these super chats. This is crazy. It's all an illusion. Thanks for being in Town's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And a $10 super chat says, way to go, T. Thank you guys for all the support for him. He's an incredible little man. God vibes are back, baby. Indeed they are, my brother. And that's not going nowhere. And I know some of you seen the comment I'm talking about in my live yesterday after it was posted. And that's not going to deter us from what we believe. Lucky Guy in Silver Days, thank you so much for being in here. Mick Shoot, thanks for 1 year plus. Appreciate that. Logical Patriot says you're good at this. I appreciate that. And thanks for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Mark Core for $49.99 donation. Holy smokes. Anthony, wow. And I love that little the little hug and stuff. Anthony Latino says, I mean, honestly, I've watched you grow and I've grown, and that level of realism and honesty is why I'm here. And I think it is why I think my honesty or just what I've shared with everybody has grown this year. I can definitely feel that. That's a great way to put that, Anthony. I do agree with that completely. Poppy Lou, thanks for 6+ months with the XP Predictor and also $20 super. I mean, I don't even know what I did to enjoy this morning. I mean, obviously we made a little bit of money across the board. And I know we've been on ball. Man, we've been so on point with these charts, and I couldn't do this alone. I know a lot of you think that it's my hat that does this and things like that. And I put the hat on last night to tell you I thought it was going up, but I took it off to tell you to be careful for that little drop down that we were going to have. And it actually did it perfectly overnight. I mean, wow. Mark Core says, buy him a track also to use. I do have a track, but now I can expand on it. So the one I bought him, well, my brother got him it for Christmas. We bought him another piece that attaches. And now I can use that to attach it more, Mark. Absolutely, I will. Between all these super chats, he's going to get something special. You better believe it. You better believe it. And Mark, I'll let you know. I'll take a video of it when I set it up. Silver Days, thank you for appreciating everybody who's generous. Your son is Tommy Guns Jr. Yes, he is T3. He's Thomas Speaker the Third. Oh, speaking of which, if you want a muscle update, I wasn't supposed to do a workout today, but I did have to work out. I worked on triceps, biceps, inner and external. But I mean, I can't even believe that's my arm, but I do it for my son. Do it for my son. Eric Mackin, your son is Tommy Guns. Yes, he is, Mr. Junior. James says, I like the honesty in here and that you are reliable and take your job seriously. You're here every day no matter what. The hard work you put in motivates me to learn. That is such a blessing to read, honestly. Wow. John Bugathorpe, thanks for over 2 years. XB 589 Moonbeds. Hi, Tom. People complain you're praying. I say we're founded by Christians and have religious freedom. True Christ taught love, forgiveness, humility, given freely. What's the problem? I don't have a problem. I know a lot of you don't, but the comment I'm talking about, just so you guys know that I'm not just BSing you. Everybody. Where was it at? I don't remember which one it was on. Maybe it was in this one. And we'll see. And ironically, it was the only comment I received. See? That was the comment I received. Just so you know. So I'm not going to let it affect me, but that was the one comment that, because I turn off comments to non-subscribers so we don't have as much spam, but that was the comment I received. And I was like, wow, that's kind of and especially for who we prayed for in that live, that was kind of cold-hearted. But, you know, we can't judge on those who don't understand. You know, we can only pray for their own guidance. That we all have to meet our maker at some point. Bado Damas, welcome in, and thanks for being in Town's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Very important part, been here for a while. Geek C, welcome in, and thanks for being in Town's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. The Cannabis Podcast over 1 year. What are the levels we're keeping an eye on? Now, we'll go over that very quickly. Jacoby Schwa, thanks for the $9.99 super chat in over 1 year. Lonzo, good morning. Eric McCann, thanks for the $5 super chat. I know, Deeks, I've never had this level of donations, like never. So it's overwhelming sometimes, to be honest. Like, it's overwhelming. I would like to think, you know, it's It's well earned, and obviously it is. I've done a lot. I've done 5 years of this on March 24th of this month. It'll be 5 straight years, and I've not taken a single day in between. We're here every single day, no matter what. So yeah, this level of support is unbelievable. It's unfounded for me. I've never had this level of support. I've had a lot of support with from a monetary standpoint. Low, welcome in. Tim Rain, thanks for being in town on your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. It's all an illusion. Thanks for being in town for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Yeah, that's why I showed you it's all an illusion. I seen your comment. That's why I showed that. Gotta run. Have a good day, 1970 Legend, and thank you so much for that super chat towards T. I can't wait to buy him that super big pack of cards. I haven't bought him that big pack yet, the bigger one. He's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe there's a 50 pack. So I appreciate that. Please be safe, my fellow, well, not fellow Buckeye, but my Buckeye friend from the South, that hopefully one day we can sit around a campfire and just shoot the shit. Maybe one day I'll come to Ohio, and maybe we could meet up somewhere maybe at the zoo or something. I want to take my son to the Ohio Zoo. How cool would that be if you could show up at the zoo? I don't know how close you are to the Toledo Zoo. That'd be great. It's all an illusion, says the church can leave people jaded, but that's a bit much. Absolutely, and there's no doubt about that. The church is but that was a bit much. I agree. Coco Created, better known as John, in here. Thank you for gifting a sub, and also in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. I can't wait for the 5-year badge that comes out in just a couple of weeks. And DB got that gifted sub. That's incredible. That's incredible. You and your family deserve every penny. Tom, thank you so much for that, Mark. Jamie McKinney, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Says, do good things happen. I agree with that. And you get what you give. I always talk about that. That's why I do it on the pay it forward mentality. That's why I don't do any paid advertisements. And you guys know exactly how lucrative that can be with the size of my audience. I've shown you the offers. But I believe in something very strongly. We have to do this in the pay it forward mentality. Otherwise, I'm stealing from my audience, and I can't do that. I can't do it. It's not in my soul. So I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can, and I'm going to put in even more work every single day for me, you, and everybody else around us. And I appreciate that. John says, look at what happened with IBIT. Yeah, and remember what happened yesterday? It was up like 8%. Now we need to see if it breaks down this support. It came down through here. Let's delete this just because it's below this. Real quick. And now we're back testing. If this breaks through, John, you know as well as I do with this head and shoulders or this topping reversal, we could find ourselves. Remember we were talking about that 39.26 uptrend. I know a lot of people are looking at this. So yeah, John, were you the one who told me to add this to the list by chance? I feel like you were the one who told me to add this. Jason Blackburn, thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Gotta run. Guys, have a great day. Have a great day, my brother, and please be safe out there. It's very foggy here in Michigan. It's clearing up a little bit, but it is super foggy. Yeah, okay, you told me to look at this, and what a great thing to advance our charts with. Because we have the cup. Now we're going to build the handle, and if we do it properly, John, look what's happening. I think you understand this better than most. I really do, because you're on point when it comes to XLM and stuff. And you'd be proud of me because I transitioned into XLM after that movement yesterday again. And I'm a very big fan of the triple X's as well. I wouldn't mind if you had a few commercials so you can make money. I'm sure most of it. No, I understand that, but I'm willing to sacrifice that $700 or $800 a month on ads to keep this clean. I know it sounds cheesy, but when you're doing an hour, hour and a half, 2-hour live, and they do a commercial every 5 to 7 minutes, the information just can't be put through. So I've said it from the beginning. With the support I get from this community, I have no problem taking away from that. So, you know, that's just something that you guys show me so much support lately even, and throughout the years, that I am okay with that. I don't want the advertising on, personally. I want you guys to see this in a profound way. I know it might go against, but that's just what I feel like. I feel like We miss out on a lot. Tom, I'm almost to Portage right now. Good luck on your journey, my friend. Please be safe. Please be safe with that. But I respect that, Elmer and Carl, for that. I really do, for saying that. JG, thank you so much for being in Tom's armor for 3+ months of the XRP meter. Tom, do you think now would be a good time to buy XRP for a short-term gain or wait? Okay, great question. I want to answer what the Cannabis Podcast said about where we're at. So, here's the deal. If you're buying XRP, please make sure that it's at least over the $1.45, and then you have a strategic opportunity as it'll likely push to a $1.50 200 day, and then what you will see is likely a boom back, and then it'll push out. So this would be, okay, so let's add this in here because that's a great freaking question. So technically, if you're looking for this, this would be your confirmation zone. So anything bought, assuming it holds, the closer to $1.45 right now would be the bee's knees, but we've got to make sure this breaks out. 4 hour really looks great. Stochastic looks amazing. So that would be your box because you're going to get a liquidity spike back down once you hit about $1.49-ish, $1.50, and it would probably bounce back to $1.45. So somewhere within there would be where I would be looking personally. If you want me to be honest, that is where I would be looking this morning. So that's just as honest as I can be. So it's not looking bad. But I would definitely make sure that point breaks just so you don't hit this resistance here and then find yourself holding it through a liquidity box from $1.45 back down to $1.42.8 because that can also happen. Thank you, Tom. Also loving the Telegram. Yeah, the Telegram took me a number of years of trial and error. Back in 23, I got obliterated by my audience, so I had to shut it down when I told everybody to buy back. Just as equally as I got obliterated in 21, when I told everybody to sell, everybody got pissed, thought I was a scam artist. But now that I've brought it back, last year for everybody and opened it up, it's a tremendous area. And I put a lot of work into it along with the mods and everybody else. There's so many different sections that I think are of value. John, we are expecting it unless it gets invalidated. And that's something that we don't know. You never know. That's why you buy at the cheaper when we can. That's why I advised everybody at that $1.18 to look back at buying XRP. Also why I wouldn't sell it even though we had gains. I didn't want to sell it until it proved a breakdown now. Because I've been in and out, as you guys know, with certain things. I'm doing it in a very strategic and aligned way, but I'm keeping up with the XXX hash strategy. Plus V with VeChain because of how much it dumped. But if we don't get above here, John, first area, if we don't get above $1.56, the technical target and the head and shoulders would still be valid. It's still 88 or 86.6 cents. However, if we can get back up into that box, we have several opportunities to try to invalidate this. First would be I still think we have an E wave up to about $1.70-ish. I know it starts at about $1.68 and extends to $1.80 roughly. But I still think we're going to hit that breakaway gap. That is still considered a breakaway gap. But if you can get above that, it can deem the end of a downturn. So we have to be very careful sometimes because we did collect that October 10th swing low. We have a nice descending wedge that formed within here on the inverse head and shoulders. We not only had a breakout, but a back test. And I think the analysis yesterday together was absolutely phenomenal. Last night we focused on why I thought it was a good buying opportunity. We not only had the breakout, we also had the back test of the neckline, and we did it in real time showing, why you break out. You have the back test of the neckline and why this was a perfect opportunity last night. And this was the neckline here. So basically what you're looking at here is you had a breakdown, then you create a shoulder, head, shoulder, but you created a head here, shoulder, shoulder on the inverse right shoulder, if you want to call it that. But if you want to just call it the inverse head and shoulders here, shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline would be here from the top of the left shoulder where you create the first line of a neck because it comes down to create the head. Now you create a neckline to the left, come back up, and then you come back down and you back test resistance as support, and that's considered the neckline. That is the buy-in if you missed the inverse breakout. We're still in the zone of all zones. We obviously haven't pushed through the liquidity box, but that was a 12.8% expansion at minimum, which we fulfilled. So I always say, if you're watching somebody, don't judge them on what they tell you in the moments of bullshit. Judge them on the active moments. Judge them on their liquidity zone. Judge them on how they get you in and out. Judge them how honest they are between a bullish and a bearish. I was probably the only person in crypto calling the start of the bear market in January of 25, and we got the confirmation in July. And I've said we've been in a bear market since, and the only way to invalidate that right now is first to get over that breakaway gap at that $1.70 to $1.80 zone, and then get over that $2.02 will be the start when I'll say, okay, we got something going here, and then ultimately clearing that 220 whatever level that was. But right now we're in a moment of opportunity, and we approach it at that, because in this world, when we have moments to make money, we have to try to make that currency. It's the only thing we know how. It's the only thing I know how. And I tell everybody every single day, I can't afford to screw this up. Oh, it's possible Bitcoin bottomed. You know, the third blood moon in a cycle is technically the bottoming moon. So I'm not saying we've bottomed, but what I'm saying is there's a chance at expansion out to 82K and things like that. Yeah, it didn't push it out to everybody. Missed this out. I did over 2.5 hours in the first live yesterday. And, but it was a long live. And then I did about 1 hour and 15 last night, but we did a great job together. An absolutely phenomenal job. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't push us too far. Me and the algorithm, but we've had just tremendous support here when it comes to our core, and our core members make it happen. And I look every single day to add at least one more core member to this community. And all that means is you don't have to be a member of Tom's. You don't have to be a member of the classes. I just want to see you involved in the comments. If we get over $1.56 XRP, do we short term? But that doesn't fully invalidate it. Remember, the only way to truly invalidate that drop would be then to get past the symmetrical triangle. I mean, the descending triangle. So now that I confused everybody, a symmetrical triangle is formed when you have lower highs and higher lows. It creates a symmetrical triangle. Now, with a descending triangle, you're defined by flat support and lower highs, which is a converse with an ascending triangle, which you would have flat highs, so you'd have stable resistance, and higher lows would be an ascending triangle. So a descending triangle would be the flat support would be flat, and then the resistance would be downtrending. So now just because you come back up over it, you can't just say, and that's a great question, that it's invalidated. You have to come over the entirety of this downtrend where that descending triangle was made. So you have to get over about 202 in real time, just over this resistance, and then it's invalidated. And then if it holds, whatever it was going to go up, it can come back instead of down. It'll take it to the top side, which would be around 202. So not 202. It'd be around all-time highs, getting back over $3 to 350. So excellent question. Excellent question. And it's said when you have a several-year gap with the blood moon, the next one's not until 28, like Cannabis Podcast said. It says you have a bullish consolidation or continuation until that next blood moon, and then it's a bloodbath. So technically, we've got the moment of opportunity, and we've talked about it and talked about it. You know, you never know. Never say never. Never say that it's going to happen to that extreme downside. That's why we take advantage at every moment where we think it's a possibility. And that's just as honest as I can be. Absolutely, it could be slowly starting right now. You're absolutely on point. And if you're looking for opportunity, please take a look at XDC if you think we're going to continue with expansion. XDC's back tested beautifully right now, and I'm not saying it's a guarantee by any means. But what I'm saying is we've got an expansionary possibility here. And I've got my, what would it be worth right now? It would be at 3.56 cents. Hold on real quick. I apologize for taking time. So $5,000 $5,000 divided by 0.0357, we'll say. That's about 140,000 tokens if I did it like that. However, something will be flipped back into it, and I don't know what, because I'm going to have at least 200,000 tokens. I can guarantee you that when I rebuy it. And it's probably going to be in the short term. Your sell safe side, because this is a hammer. This looks like an inverted hammer to the core right now, and that's a tremendous looking candle. You don't have any real wick pull through. You have a nice pull down. This looks like an inverted hammer, and that's a continuation pattern. This was the first signs of a breakout. This would be the confirmation. The next candle would be zoom up. Somebody said great question to somebody, so I need to look at that. Tim Randy said, yes, great question, Tim. I agree with that, Smack. That was an excellent question. I'm telling you, we have such a smart audience here. It's incredible how much we've learned. That's a beautiful candle here in the 4-hourly as well. So if you're looking for opportunity, please, you know, pay attention to opportunity when it kicks you in the nuts or strikes you in the face. That's what I'm doing. I don't know if my sell order filled. I haven't looked at Kraken yet, but I had a sell order for XDC, so I'm going to log in, I think, in a second just to see if it filled or not. I'm pretty sure it did, but I don't want to misspeak or misrepresent the fact of what's going on, to be honest. Let me take a look. Yes, we are creating generals in here via the classes because it teaches you outside. Like, I can teach you the charts every day in here, but the classes teach you so much more. I mean, I'm just saying so much more. It's a pretty special thing we got going on there, if I'm being honest. Okay, so this is set up like this. So let's see. I'm going to log into here real quick. So we have this. Log in. I'm sorry, I have two-step verification just in case. Let's see. Come on, log me in already, Jesus. Okay, so let's see that trade, XDC. And there's no guarantee. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just, you know, my sell point at the 200-day when it rose there and the rebuy back. It wasn't to get rid of it. It was just to kind of try to create a better opportunity. And I'm very proud of the opportunity that was presented to us, actually. Looks like it did fill. I'm trying to see exactly where it filled. I'm being honest. Yeah. Actually got me back more than 200,000. I'm very surprised with how many it actually got. I'm being honest. Let me just pull the rest of this up. So it says XDC. Because when I sold it, there was around 200,000. But I did put some towards XLM. But I expected to have that 7 to 8% pullback, as you guys know from last night and before. And I'm very ballsy when I do this. I trust my technicals. They hold no bounds. So it bought back 13,408 extra. And it bought it back at, let's open this up, 0.0. Ooh, I think I missed the level a little bit that I wanted, but that's okay. It didn't fill them all at the exact. I had it a little marginalized. It filled at 03497, so I didn't even hit the 0348. It was a little bit higher. That's okay. Neither here nor there. I'm very proud of that rebuy. So yeah, so I have the XXX Haas strategy in full force. I have, you know, a lot of good stuff. The only thing I think I'm missing is H-bar at this point, if I'm not mistaken. But that's okay. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm happy about that. And I put a little bit more money back onto Kraken last night. I think the account was back at 32 when I put it back on. Like I said, I was holding it to the side just to wait for that moment of opportunity. And I got that moment of opportunity to do what I needed to do. I'm very blessed, honestly. I'm blessed at the fact that not just what I do, but the audience helps me so much. Like, you guys see a lot that I don't see even. And it's a blessing to me. It's a blessing to me, if I'm being honest. It's a huge blessing to me. So, thank you all for all your continued support. That's all I can say about that. It means a lot to me. Bitcoin's up over 73K. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that filled, because if it didn't, I would have had to do it manually. But fortunately, I had it as low as 0.348, but because of the amount I bought, it filled it up at 0.3492, and it felt like it could fill the whole thing. So, minimal, it cost me $37 in fees, which is nothing. $47 in fees on the sell, so it cost me $70 to reposition 7.5% down. And that allowed me to open the door to other opportunities as well. But I'm very happy with what I'm seeing this morning. There's no doubt about it. Tom, can you do some analysis for ZBCN? I usually stay on a straight and narrow. But I appreciate your continued support, Nader. And yeah, this live, I'm going to have to end it soon because I have my class coming up at 12. But I'm going to try to stay here until about 11:15. I want to put in about an hour and 20 minutes of work or so here. I know it's almost an hour, but I would like to put in a little bit more work. And then tonight I'm coming back. I don't care if I have a class. I'm coming back. And we're going to do a lot more work tonight. I'm going to do my animated candlesticks. The one I did yesterday, I'll go into ZBCN, but the one I did yesterday was different. Didn't get as much support, but it was for a reason. Did you guys, and I have to, some people are like, are you copying it? It's not that I'm copying it. I put this through AI if you want to see the truth. I actually do this through AI. But some people think because I'm recording it from my phone, I'm not actually doing this myself. But I create these myself. I only get 3 a day, but it fucked me yesterday and did 2. So I have to record these. I have to record them separate and then tie it together. But I do it. Where the hell is it at? It's somewhere in here. But I create them and then I have to record it so that it ties them together. But I wonder if this helped yesterday.
This doji right here. High volume, but no real body. That shows indecision and usually precedes a drop. So the uptrend is definitely over. Shooting star right here indicates a potential top. Buyers tried to push it up, but the sellers took over. Absolutely. The long wick shows the rejection of higher prices before the drop. This doji right here.
So what did you think about that just little bit of info in the animation? Out of curiosity. ZBCN doing phenomenal. Oh, looking great. It's going to have to retest the drop point. I used to cover this a lot. It's going to come up and try to retest here. So a lot of opportunity here. Now, that could be a bearish rejection or it could be a bullish overtake. Whoops, I don't want to call out. I want to have it with the price. My mistake. We made so much money off of ZBCN last year. It was insane. Yeah, it's got to try to come back in. This was a symmetrical triangle breakdown. However, it hasn't fully committed to breaking down here. And on the outside of this, the cool thing is even though it's a symmetrical triangle, instead of breaking down, see this lower wick on October 10th? It came farther down and it created a channel here. So falling channel, which is usually bullish. So it's at least going to retest 0.2864. And then if it breaks back above that 3.6, we're cooking again. So where should you buy? Well, you could take a shot here for sure to try to push that 200 day, and then you have a wide open up to 286. Just be cautious because technically we've had that 3 hits of support. We're looking for, if I'm looking at this and delegating what we're looking at here, I'm trying to do my best to keep you in as good of a rhythm as I can, my brother who asked. Got to get over that short. Oh, it lines up perfectly with the 200 day. Imagine that. So we want to see that push out. So basically here, forget this second part what I was going to draw. So we have this liquidity box, okay? So basically what you want to do, my friend, we got this liquidity up over the top. Yes, that's going to be an expansion zone, but this wick right here is what I'm concerned about to get over. And then we've got this little box here. Get through this liquidity box, and now we're cooking. So that's your expansionary zone. I like to show this so that you can see the up and down possibility. If you were to buy right here, it's something new I've started to do. Let's see. It's the best way to do this. I want to give you the the range. So the price range, if you buy up here and it rejects, you've got about a 19% wall here. If you get out of it, big expansion there. So that's yours. Oh, it's actually a little bit smaller. Whoops, I want to be accurate. Can't be inaccurate. It's not 19. Ah, close enough. So it's got that little liquidity zone. You get out of this and we're crushing it. Ooh, I like that smackimation. And then the 4 hourly, yes. The 4 hourly could end up being a consolidation candle. Stochastic is overbought. So now the least route of resistance, let's say we get rejected up here at 22467, would be to back test here or back test the 20 days it crosses through. We can get some guidance through the 2 hourly. Absolutely. So we might see a movement if we don't expand. Whoops. If we can't expand out to retest that breakthrough. Let me fix this. Go back to the floor. So yeah, that's how I would look at this. So we got to get through this little liquidity zone, my friend. It's about 18.3%. Holy smokes, that's a big box. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Absolutely, I can do algo. I'm very. Here, I'll keep the Bybit one on here so we can watch this going forward. Baylor's Medical, look at that. Somebody brought this up yesterday and we just couldn't get it quick enough on the open. Up 18%. Was watching it very closely, so let's see how this reacts now, but they were dead on the money. I talked about yesterday in the live that ADA was a great choice. DAG's not up at all, 0.75%. Is this behind? Oh, it's significantly overbought right now. Interesting. It's stuck in this inside out wedge, so you can't really do anything while it's in there. Okay, so let's go to algo. I'm very heavily involved in algo. I have over 100. I have 100,000 tokens. Let's just call it for what it is. It's one of my babies. I have a lot of faith in it. I have a technical move up for algo because it broke this descending triangle. At minimum up to 996. It's gonna hit some resistance at 9.5. But then in totality, you move this up. We have this inverse pattern. Back tested perfectly. And that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at this movement right about 990. So still got some upward tug here. Still got some upward tug. So just keep paying attention to that. LAES up 6.1%. Damn it. I wasn't paying attention to it. It had a nice inverse pattern too. Fuck. I had the money sitting there too. Fuck. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to swear. Nice inverse pattern set up right beneath my eyes, and it had the back. I wanted to buy the neckline when it back tested, and it already did it. Fuck. I was watching this neckline so cleanly, and look at that. Son of a bitch. Oh, my dad's calling. Hold on one second. Hey, Dad, how's it going? Good. Yeah, he had his GI appointment down here. He has a in between his ones and Grand Rapids. Just happened over here. Check his weight, make sure everything's good. He gained 3 pounds, so they were very happy. Everything was great. No, since the last time he was at this place. No, he's about the same. But for them, 3 pounds. And then they said, as he gets taller, they might add a little bit of formula, to try to fix his weight so he's steady, but it's very very easy.
Also, a news cycle is the latest on tariffs. What do we need to know, Tom?
Well, he's been eating different kinds of food now, too, so it's been more interesting. Oh, yeah, no, not really.
As soon as this week, we also heard from the European Union, according to people familiar with the matter, telling Bloomberg News that that trading partner does not expect their rate to go up to 50%.
And he's got such a version in the mouth, you can't give him vitamins in the mouth, so that's how he eats. He gets vitamins.
After the Supreme Court struck down his tariffs imposed under IEEPA, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and now he's using this different authority, but that will run out.
Well, they are snacks, but some of them are like different kind of crackers and different. He's been more interested in fruits too lately, so. Yeah. I mean, he bites on a little, but he's like the zest part. More interested in, well, yeah, so he's been doing good. I'm just in the middle of a live. I had my class at 12, yeah. You're fine. No, I wanted to
Brazil, but Evan Caroline, a senior administration
Oh, but I just wanted to tell you how he was doing. He got a great checkup. So I figured you'd want to know. Yeah, he was good. He walked in, he knew exactly where the weigh-in was, he knew exactly what room he was going to, so. Good spirits, and now he's at so he got there by 9:20, so barely missed it. Yeah, but they understood. They asked if we were going to keep home. Yeah, because last time he had the GI, we didn't take the score and I got pissed at us. When we drove by the school, he looked at us and he started getting upset. No, we're not doing that thing.
The S&P 500 was down 24 basis points coming into
Too.
year to date. So I think
Same with me, but he's not like that. He loves
AI, this is a generational investment
Really?
where
So he did great.
demand for compute,
So he'd be proud. He did good.
it's just a very durable growth that war is clearly
Hopefully, I want to get over to your house. I really do. I
de-escalation.
need to get over there.
The
I'm gonna try to see what's
wave
going on.
is just going to be very large over the next several years.
I will.
And that's going to be
Yeah, I'll talk to Julie and see what we
to
can come up
invest
with.
behind despite some of the headlines and supply shocks we're seeing today.
We saw equities in Korea and Kospi
Oh, cool.
drop the most on record, as Caroline quite rightly points out.
Yeah.
That's an issue of leverage as much as there's anything else. What do you do in this situation?
Yeah, no, that would be
where
great.
you have
I'll talk to Julie and see
in
what's
the
going on.
Middle East, in Iran, you have
One of the, I know, I want to get him over there. I've been wanting to. Every week it's like something.
and again, you know, we looking in particular
And it should be nice
at the
this
energy
week.
sector in the context of Iran. What do you
I know, I
do
want to
in
see
terms
that
of-
too.
Well, so 31st year at Parnassus, 25
Okay.
years managing the Parnassus
I will.
equity strategy.
Love you, Dad.
We haven't put in a trade.
I'll call you later, okay?
We're focused on-
All right, bye, Dad. Sorry about that, everybody, but I have a rule. I don't care if I'm live. If my parents call, I answer. It's just what I do. And I know my audience understands. Wow, XRP up to $1.45.9 now. So we're pushing 7% on the day. We are cooking, folks. We're outside of the demand zone right now. If we can get over this last little liquidity zone, remember what I said, if it comes up here and back test, or if we want to hold the top now. We're outside of the shit zone right now. Finally, we got past here. Now, hopefully we can hold it this time. But we'll see. Still got a lot of room in the daily. That's very promising right now. Very promising. I really think we're reversing and completing the head on the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. It's very possible, Cannabis Podcast. It's a great assertion. It's a great assertion you've made. And I think it correlates that with that descending wedge that formed in such a long time frame. And that's why I talked about the E expansion. I didn't stop it at ABC. I said I thought D was another corrective and E was expansion. If that's the case, this weekly reversal will play out. Should pull us up to 150. Ask. But I'm very, very, very happy with the way that this is going. I haven't looked at AMP in a while. I'll end it with AMP because I got to get going. I got to set up my class. I'm very dedicated and, you know, people are paying their hard-earned money. So I want to make sure that I set this up properly. I encourage you guys, look in the video description below and our pinned comments. If you want to know more than just the charts, which we'll get into the charts in a few months as well. But I'm teaching you market psychology, the human anatomy. I've taught already in the first 4 lessons, the first 4 classes, about the difference between money, store of value, through the ages, what was considered like a bargaining chip, you know, for trade, for bartering and things like that, how it's changed, the next digital era that's coming, how to approach it. No, you were right. On the weekly, no. I put it to the monthly on accident, but the weekly, you're absolutely right, Cannabis Podcast. It's easier to see it in the weekly. The monthly does show up, but it's actually easier for me to show it to everybody in the weekly. So you're absolutely right about that, if I'm being honest. AMP just looks trashy still, unfortunately. It just can't get out of its own way. That right now the daily is looking good because that's a hammer right now. And a reversal here, it's invalidating. So tomorrow's candle, if we're looking at AMP, tomorrow would be the day for AMP because it's starting to push. We can get a lot of volatility, but it was looking trash-ass. Now it's looking like opportunist. How funny is that? It's looking like an opportunity possibly. So, I mean, that could be the head, shoulders. Now we need to see if we get expansion out to the 200-day. That's about a, what is that, a 40% mover. So AMP, when it moves, it moves. When AMP moves, it moves. 10% up, but if it moves, it's going to come way up here. What's that, 40? But it's got to get over, and that's not 40, though. That's my lie. It's right there, 27. But I'll look at this later. But, guys, I do have to go. Got some work to do. It's going to be a busy day. I'm going to do my best to be back here tonight again, as always. I want to come back tonight. As long as my son's doing okay, we'll be back. Now that we had such a big expansion out, is there consolidation that can happen? Yes. I would definitely take a look at XDC. No guarantees that it's going to hold this back test. But the ideology that I had was sell it up here, buy it back on the back test, and then start to see if we can replay it up to that C wave finish. So be blessed, and anybody in the class, I will see you shortly.